Before we start this review, I just want to mention of how I had to re-upload the first episode of the third season of The Owl House just because I did end up saying some things that I needed to when it came to the editing that I ended up missing. So and I just needed to do. So yeah, and I do want to of course point out that yeah, obviously the dates are different, right? The dates are different of when this releases, right? Compared to when we actually the actual last episodes of the Owl House, right? Like on the reviews that released. I do want to, of course, mention that as well. Which again, I just wanted to mention all of this before re-releasing this episode review. Just want to have some clear things out pretty much. So I do apologize. But I should have everything all, where I actually want it now. Especially since before there was notifications. So notifications or whatnot that I meant to edit out that managed to pop up while I was doing the actual filming of the actual review. That I definitely wanted to, edit out the notification pop up. To a new Owl House episode review, and if you haven't seen the last one, go and check it out. And we are beginning season 3. Yep, the final season of the Owl House. And I can just say, this first episode, which yeah, I thought, yeah, I would do on its own, the first episode on its own, to begin the third season. But yeah, this beginning is truly something, I can just say. Truly something to start the final season. I mean, that's hard to believe, too, that I'm saying that. The final season of the Owl House that we are now beginning. But yeah, it starts with pretty much a recap. Sort of a recap, of what the whole end of the last season was, with them entering the human world, and the whole portal closing after everything in the demon world is, getting consumed by the collector. And them getting to Luce's mom. Which, yeah, we see them hugging after returning. And, yeah, everybody is helping out in the house. Gus is using his magic for the dishes. And, yeah, Amity giving some tea to Luce's mom. And, of course, yeah, Hunter is really appreciated about Luce not telling them about what he actually is. Right, most certainly being a clone of somebody. And, yeah, of course, Luce's mom is still having to take everything in about Belos and about everything in the realm, right? Which I can understand, her having to take everything in. And yeah, we see Hunter and Gus down in the basement setting up and seeing all these different things, which yeah, Hunter is even going onto his knee, thanking Luce's mom for all of this. And of course he's like, don't do that again, first of all. I mean, yeah, I can understand that. But, and yeah, we see V showing what a normal alarm clock is, which they end up breaking it. Because, yeah, Willow and Amity never seen a normal alarm clock. And, yeah, we see this note, which I don't know why there's subtitles here and there. Yeah, in the episode. Like, I don't have subtitles on through the whole episode, but it just shows some. But yeah, we see this welcome home, Luce, we miss you letter. And of course, yeah, Luce is just still thinking that her mom would be angry with her for what she did about not going to the whole camp and being in a whole different realm and stuff. But of course, her mom doesn't care about that. All her mom cares is that her daughter is safe. Which, again, that is truly a good mom, I can just say. And yeah, they go back to that old house, where they entered the whole realm. And yeah, we see this montage and showing these different photos, which are very cute, I can just say. Yeah, especially with Amity and Luce. Like, and even having, I'm guessing, Luce introducing Amity as Luce's girlfriend, and Luce's mom just so happy for her. And yeah, them drawing up some plans, and yeah, this weird creature, I don't know what it's supposed to be, but coming out, and them just in these disguises. And of course, Hunter being frightened because he sees Bellows when it comes to his hair. And Willow is helping Hunter with his hair. And yeah, they end up still trying to fix the portal, but ending up having to put out the fire. And yeah, we see this food that they made for Luce and her mom. And yeah, Amity and Luce in the rain, while everybody else in the rain too. And yeah, Luce is going to school. And yeah, they're just trying to figure out what to do while Luce is at school. And yeah, we see Hunter's little bird just looking for something. And yeah, of course, Luce's mom is very concerned about that red thing on the door. And yeah, we see the Spanish teaching app that they're using. And that looks like a Furby. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like a Furby. And yeah, Hunter's trying to speak Spanish, which he's not terrible, but he still needs to learn. And yeah, they're trying to think of some things they can do, like Hunter doing the sewing, or knit, yeah, the sewing, and human realm that, you know, they can explore, a whole human realm that they can explore in order to try to find a way back. And yeah, she ends up falling into this hole in the ground, which then they end up finding this thing that was in the floor, and it's some kind of scroll that has some kind of thing on it, which looks like some kind of map. And yeah, Luce is at school, and yeah, she ends up getting ahead of herself. I think, like, yeah, just to a point where everybody's just looking at her. And yeah, we see these two kids have heard a lot about Luce and talking about this whole, like, trick-or-treating type of thing that is happening. And yeah, they get stopped by a car, or by a police officer, because this mom and her daughter went into a wreck, because her daughter says that it's some kind of creature that ended up coming. And oh no, we see a skull, and it can't be who we think it is. Like, it can't be who we think it is, right? Because we thought he died. We thought the collector killed him. Yeah, it looks very close to, like, Bellows. Like, Philip. There's no way. And yeah, Hunter is trying to sew, and he ends up hurting himself. And yeah, Gus helping him and sewing this cool shirt that he did, which was really cool. And of course, he's talking about how there are times where he did seem like he did enjoy being a guard until, you know, now. And yeah, it's very touching, I would say. And yeah, Gus showing Hunter this book series, which, yeah, they have all these different, like, costumes and stuff as well. Which, poor Luce, though. Again, Luce is just filling with the guilt, though, about everything, which I can understand her. I don't blame her at all. Which, yeah, she takes her chalice egg, and we see her mom just trying to figure out everything, since, you know, she's having to take care of 6 kids. She's having to take care of 6 children right now. So, yeah, I can completely understand. Like, she's having to, especially trying to figure out exactly what kind of food and drinks that, you know, Hunter, Amity, Willow, and, you know, all of them ate and drank in the realm that they're in. And she ends up having, like, going to sleep and having these memories type dreams. And yeah, we see little Luce just freaking out these kids. And of course, her mom is being, she's probably one of the best moms, though. Like, Luce's mom is probably one of the best moms I can, like, cartoon moms I can definitely say for sure. And yeah, just even with that whole Romeo and Juliet tryouts thing, and all these other parents are just being hypocrites. And of course, the whole principal kind of thing too, that tells her about the whole camp. And of course, yeah, Luce is just not understanding why her mom is not angry with her. But again, she just is just happy that her daughter is safe. That is all. Right? She is not angry. And that is what I love. Right? Like, she is not angry. She is just thankful that her daughter is back. And Luce is just wanting to sleep with her mom tonight. And yeah, it's just thinking that this is all her fault as well. Everything that has happened is all Luce's fault. And she can't do a thing right. Which then we see this shadowy figure. Which again, it can't be. I kept thinking to myself, it can't be, it can't be, it can't be. Right? Like, it cannot be. I kept thinking in my head when watching. And yeah, Amity is prepping everybody for the day that they have ahead of them. And yeah, Hunter's disguise that he has. And of course, Hunter and Gus talking about that whole book series that, you know, Gus got Hunter into. And yeah, he is really starting to like to know him, Hunter is. And I'm very happy to see that. But then he sees this liquid. And yeah, of course he's scared. Because that looks like the same liquid from Emperor Bellos. Yeah, from his uncle. Which is not good. Again, like, it cannot be though. I keep telling myself that. Like, there's no way Emperor Bellos is alive still. And yeah, we see them, the others, just checking out different places. And funny things that just end up happening. That's quite funny, I would say. And seeing this giraffe, which is... what kind of a giraffe is that? Especially since giraffes are my favorite animals. And then they see this dad with his kids. And... yeah. They actually thinks that they know where they have to check next. And yep, it's that place that, you know, that Loney guy that captured Vey, right, if you remember. But apparently it's a new staff member at the counter because that other guy got fired. Yeah, he got fired. I mean, good for him. That guy got fired, good for him, because he was quite crazy. And of course this lady is looking at Vey like, you look familiar. And yeah, they actually ending up figuring out when it comes to the map. And they actually believe Titan's blood. Yeah, like there's Titan's blood. And showing these different memories, right, on the scrapbook that they have here, which is very cute, I can just say, with the whole scrapbook. And yeah, wanting to get Vey into the scrapbook too, which again, just looking at a picture behind them and showing that yeah, it's very similar to this whole map. And of course, when they figure out about the Titan's blood, that Amity has an idea of how they can surprise Luce, showing that whole, you know, hayride haunted event, Halloween event. And yeah, Luce is just figuring out of what her little creature could be when it hatches for her staff. And of course, she can't do cliffs. since, she is in the human world. And, yeah, of course Hunter is very worried about his uncle, somehow being alive, even though we saw him turn into mush, right? So him turn into mush by the collector, like, we thought he would be dead, but, yeah, it looks like he is not somehow, and he's in the human world. And, of course, Hunter tells Los about Belos. And, yeah, they go back to that house, and he's got a rake, and he is just wanting to, just finish this, really. And, yeah, they go in with these disguises, and they go down this creepy stairway, and they see this wardrobe that is shaking, but it's just some kind of rat, which, yeah, of course, it was nothing, and Liz says that Hunter's part of the family now, so he'll do what she can to protect Hunter, which, yeah, he starts crying as well. And, yeah, then we see what looks to be yet another silhouette of Belos. And, yeah, they end up coming back to the house and getting these costumes ready, and, yeah, of course, Gus and Hunter, which they are really great friends, though. Like, it's just, these two are really cool to see, hanging out. And, of course, Los's mom. Los's mom is funny, though. I'm just gonna say. She is just funny. And Amity actually thinks that she knows what her and Los can actually dress up as the characters from their favorite, book series. And, yeah, of course, Los really likes that. And, yeah, Los just smiles at Amity while they're sleeping, and she ends up going and just making this diary entry. And, yeah, she is having, like, this part was just sad, though. Again, this episode was very good, but, again, emotional, too, for it being the beginning of the final season. Like, yeah, I can just say, like, this episode just hits hard for real when it comes to the beginning of the third season, the last season. So, yeah, I really do feel bad for Los, though. I can say, I really do feel bad for Los. Like, I understand what she's feeling, and she thinks that she's responsible, but she is not. Especially with her thinking that she actually, helped Belos. Especially, gonna talk back about that later on, because it goes back into an importance. But yeah, we see everybody getting ready for this event. And everybody's in their costumes. And, of course, Hunter believes that he heard something inside of these woods. And, yeah, we then see this whole play happening, and, yeah, Gus coming in, and that Loney guy that got fired is trying to say, don't you see, look at his ears, like, just making a fool out of himself. And, of course, the police officers coming in and pinning him down. Like, for real. I can understand that. And, yeah, they go on this hayride, and going through this story, which, yeah, this is not very good when it comes for Hunter. Because, yeah, it's a story which is with this town, and it shows this young boy named Philip, which, yep, of course, we say Belos, or, his real name, Hunter, and his brother, which, yeah, shows Hunter, and it's like, they're, like, actually brothers. Like, oh no. Like, yeah, this is just very crazy, though, and of course, on wanting to fight them and get rid, and having Ada, the witch lady, and yeah, the selling of both of them being not seen again. And of course, this really worries Hunter a lot. Yeah, this really worries Hunter a lot. And again, he then believes that he actually saw Belos, and telling Los that it wasn't in his head this time. And of course, Yeah, even telling Los about the whole surprise that Amity was going to tell her about the Titan's blood. And yeah, she is quite nervous herself, not knowing what to say. And yeah, what is up with Hunter though? Like, he has this anger in him talking about to his little companion like that, and he just doesn't know what came over him. And yeah, they take the scroll from Amity, and yeah, Luce's mom almost drops the computer, but then she sees all these different videos when it comes to Luce in the few years, and yeah, she's just. I mean, yeah, this was emotional too. Like I said, this episode was filled with emotionals, and then she sees the recent one where Luce actually admits that she is going to tell everyone that she is going to stay in the human world permanently. And yeah, we see her mom with an angry look. Like, yeah, she knows that her daughter is not really wanting to do this. And yeah, Hunter then seeing from removing his bandage that seeing some of that gunk or whatever it is, and actually sees these eyes glow. And yeah, Luce is actually able to get her clefs working again because I'm guessing it's just when it comes to how close she is to the Titan blood. And yeah, Willow and Amity and Gus can't find Luce, and of course they're wondering if they've seen Luce as well, which V is able to track Luce from her phone. And yeah, she ends up using this ice magic and finds Hunter, which he is acting very weird. And yeah, no reason, because his eyes start glowing. And yup, it's none other than Belos. Belos has possession over Hunter's body. Yeah, this is not good. And yeah, even having the Titan's blood, finding the Titan's blood, and of course they are finding out the truth. Amity and Willow and V and her mom and Gus find out the truth about, Luce actually helping him in the Collector, which then they're all fighting, trying to get Hunter to get back in possession of his body. And yeah, Hunter's talus actually ends up going to Luce to help and telling Hunter to fight back. And he ends up squishing his own bird. But of course he's not in control of his body. It's his uncle or brother. Again, it's very confusing. Of his body and just gains the energy from it. And yeah, Hunter then gets control of his body and he says to his brother, uncle, whatever. Again, it's starting to get very confusing now of what Philip actually is to Hunter, since they are somewhat related. And he is saying that he is going to make sure that he does not hurt his friends, which ends up throwing the whole Titan's blood into the water, which of course he goes in after it. And Luce's mom dives in and saves Hunter, which then, yeah, Belos ends up coming out into monster form. And of course he sees that Hunter has betrayed him, which then opens the portal. Yeah, opens the portal back to the demon realm and goes through. And of course Luce's mom is like, that's the Belos y'all were fighting and talking about? And yeah, Hunter's companion, little birdie friend, ends up putting like the stuff that Belos was gaining the energy from, goes all on Hunter and ends up having this light that's coming out, and he is back. But of course he's like, I already know. Like, he already knows that his birdie companion is no longer with them. And of course Amity is wanting Luce to tell her about what did Belos mean about Lois helping. And yeah, C admits that C was the one, when C went back in time, with Lilith and the whole time portals, right? The whole time pulls. C was the one that actually taught Philip, Belos, before he became Belos, about the cliffs. And she taught him about everything. So she's blaming herself. And before she can even admit that she's staying in the human world, her mom says that she's going back into the demon world with them. Because, yeah, she sees what dangers a lie, and she is wanting to help. And yeah, of course, Amity is like, I could never hate you or be angry with you. And, of course, yeah, I'm just glad that Lois's mom is willing to actually help them. Yeah, to help the others get back to their families. Again, that's what I'm saying. Lois's mom is the best, I can just say. One of the best cartoon parents, I can just say. And, yeah, of course, Amity is just wanting no running away or secrets between them from now on. And yeah, kisses Lois while going through the portal and saying, meet you on the other side. And yeah, V is willing to help Lois's mom by disguising herself while they're away. And yeah, she's got her hat and they are ready to go back and help the others. And again, what an amazing beginning to the third season. I can just say, like, I cannot believe Emperor Belos is still alive. I would have thought Emperor Belos, Philip, would have been dead after he just got, knocked back by the Collector. But no, he is alive somehow. So the Collector may not actually be the true final boss after all. I mean, you never know. The Collector could still be the true villain, the final villain of the show, right, at the end of the season. But who knows? Belos, Philip still could be as well. Like, yeah. But yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think. Let me know below. And again, really good start to the season. On the beginning of the final season of the Owl House. The portal ends up closing. Well, we just see V just realizing that Luce's mom's got the car keys. Like, if she's gonna pretend to be Luce's mom, yeah, she might need the car keys, but oh well. But yeah, a really amazing beginning, though, to the final season. Which, again, I can't believe I'm saying that, though. Yeah, that on the final season. Which, from what I look, it looks like there's only 3 episodes. But they're very long, right? Like, close to, not that far from being like an hour. Which, I can definitely see why, though. For real. I can definitely see why. But again, very excited to see how this final season, how the show ends with these last episodes we have. But yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think. Let me go.